Hey, hello, how's it going, everybody? Welcome on in. Welcome to the channel. This is WagWorksGA. I'm Jeff with a G. That's the G in WagWorksGA. You can also call me Wags. The A is my wife Ashley, and we are a husband-wife creative duo. We work on mostly kids-focused projects, so kids graphic novels, kids comics. I do the art, Ashley does the writing. And we help each other out. It's great. We have a lot of fun. So that's a good point, Ash. I'm just pointing out in chat that maybe I should update the stream starting soon carousel with some newer comics and art, which I can definitely do. It's good times. But hey, come on in. Get comfy, get cozy. I'm gonna be working on some early reader kids comics tonight. Well, a early reader kids comic tonight. And if you're here on Twitch, that's what you're gonna see. If you're watching either the VODs or on YouTube, you can catch us live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. That's the time it is right now for me. But hey, I'm glad you're here. I hope you're having a good week. I hope you're having a good night, and welcome on in. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Let me grab my art glove really quick here. Handy dandy. I always make the worst unintentional puns. And the best intentional ones? I guess my kids would not agree with either of those statements. But that's fine. That's fine. We know they love the jokes. It's good. Okay. And hey, I'm already ahead of the game tonight because I remembered to unmute my mic, and that's a good time. That's a good time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop over into, oh gosh, I didn't even open up anything yet. Pop over into my Clip Studio Paint window here. Clip Studio Paint is my digital art program of choice. They actually just released the big 3.0 upgrade last week, 2 weeks ago. It's pretty great. I haven't had a chance to play with all of the features, but it's been really solid so far. Okay, so let's start with our warm-up. If you've watched the stream before, excuse me, by the way, if you've watched the stream before, you know we warm up on Pokemon because, yeah, I'm a bit of a gaming fanboy. So yeah, usually I'll do that from Pokemon cards. We'll randomly draw one from some that I picked around the house. And from there we'll get going on just a quick 5-minute little jaunt, if you will, to loosen up for the night. But in honor of it being Easter upcoming on Sunday, I already know which Pokemon I would like to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull up the reference for that. And drop that on in. Give me 1 second. All right, boom. So we will be drawing Scorbunny for our warm-up tonight, a personal favorite of mine. This fire type starter from the Galar region of the Pokemon games, which is the region for Sword and Shield. If you are not familiar, yeah, if this is your Easter bunny, all I'm saying is that your eggs might be a little bit cooked when you get them. But all right, so here's the deal. If you haven't done this whole thing before with me, I'm just gonna do a 5-minute warm-up. I'm not gonna really get anywhere near a finished piece of art. This is just to loosen up my arm, loosen up my wrist, get the brain thinking about shapes, manipulating things in a 3D space. That type of thing. So it's nothing too crazy. I work in a fairly common workflow for comics, which is sketch layer, pencils layer, which is where you start to tighten it up a little bit, picking out those favorite lines from your sketch, and then an inks layer, which is where you put down your final lines, and then I'll lay down colors and lights, shadows, all that. I'm not going to get to final lines in a 5-minute warm-up. What I am going to get to is just maybe pencils at best, but most likely I'll just get a solid sketch that I feel good about. And that's the entire point of it. So I encourage you to draw along if you feel like it. because drawing is fun. You don't have to draw Pokemon. You can draw whatever it is you would like. Just come and have fun with us. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start our 5-minute timer. And away we go. One constraint that I do typically like to add on, just labeling my layers here real quick, just to make it a little bit easier to get started so I'm not spending forever thinking about what I want to draw, is I like to make my Pokemon sleeping. It's adorable. Sleeping Pokemon are adorable, and it gives me a bit of a quicker starting point. So that's what we're gonna do. I like to do my sketches and pencils in a non-black color, and I typically will pick, a giant brush size so that I'm not trying to get too bogged down in the details. All right, Scorbunny. What's your personality like here? Probably lean up against a tree or something would be my thought. Do some kind of big snoring mouth or something here. Okay, got the little triangular nose here. Got this kind of Band-Aid-like patch in between the eyes. Eyes would go there, but they're going to be close. Tighten that up a little bit just because helps me remember what I was going for there. So kind of do this. I know the ears are kind of together here, but I do believe they would separate. Okay. Not too long of a body there. Fit something like this. Not really a super distinct hand, just kind of a round little paw there. Sure, a nice little round paw. Here's where the other foot's gonna be kind of sitting. Okay. These tufts on the side are a little bit bigger. Okay, I can make the ears a little bigger for emphasis. And they do have that kind of tuft coming off there. Good deal. The tree would be more like there. Okay, I'm gonna clean up just a little bit so it's clearer as I'm adding subsequent layers. There we go. He's got like a kind of collar going on, a little bigger paw there. Maybe paw would be across the tummy. I like that. Okay. And the feet are actually kind of striped there across the top. We've got something roughly like that. I don't usually do backgrounds in my warm-ups, just because I don't often have the time. So I'm going to continue to not do that, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that. Alright, so now I'm moving on to pencils. I'll go ahead and label the layer. I don't think I have a crazy amount of time left. one of these days I will definitely remember to put a timer on the overlay so we can keep an eye on it there. But then again, I can't see the overlay while I'm drawing, so I'm not sure how much that helps me. But it helps you, my dear viewer. And there we go. All right, cool. All right, that's 5 minutes. Pencils down. I mean, you don't have to. I can't do anything about it if you want to keep drawing. In fact, please do. Please do. Okay. Yeah, and I think this accomplished what I was going for tonight. I was just looking to get warmed up, get loosened up a little bit, have some fun, and get something that, maybe someday I do want to come back to and keep working on. Which, Scorbunny being one of my favorites, I think I can handle that. And usually, you know how it goes. The sketch is not always the final, even all that close to the final form. Sometimes as you're doing pencils, as you're doing lines, as you're coloring, you're like, okay, well, this kind of doesn't work. Or, oh, I just thought of a great idea and I'm going to do that instead. And the first sketch does not always have to be where you end up at. And that's good times. In fact, one of the things that I've had to really teach myself as I'm working on projects that are going to be for submission to agents or editors or stuff, realizing like, no, you need to thumbnail it out, especially for, single images like big splash pages or covers. Like, take your time, give yourself like a series of possibilities to work with. If you were with me when I was doing my GDQ art back in like December, or the Pokemon trading card illustration contest that I was working on back in January, you would have seen exactly that, where we worked through a bunch of ideas before we picked our final ones to go with. Actually, gosh, I haven't even put any of those in the carousel. I've got big plans to gradually update some things in the on the stream, but life is busy. Life is very busy. We actually are coming up on a couple of big I guess self-imposed deadlines, but deadlines nonetheless. So once I clear those, might have a little more pockets of time to work on stream stuff. Okay, so this is good. I'm happy with this. And we're going to be working on a new Core Toons comic tonight. What is Core Toons, you ask? Well, I'm glad you did. Core Toons is a project we're working on with some fellow creators, but why just say it all myself off the top of my head when I can just, use the chat command? So Core Toons helps if you hit enter. We've teamed up with some awesome fellow kids comics creators to create bite-sized comics for young ones with a sprinkle of educational content in each. If you want to get them for totally free, which why not, especially if you have young ones, that's coretoons.substack.com. So it's a Substack newsletter delivered every Monday morning, 2 comics every week. We produce a couple of series for them. We're not in every week, but we're in some of them, along with fellow creators S.J. Winkler, Ken Ralston, and Sarah Giles. And then we also have some other friends from the kids comic graphic novel community that have been doing some features for us, and that's been super awesome. And again, with just a sprinkling of educational content, so something that could also be good for teachers. So we're excited about it. It's been really cool working on the team. I think we started working on our first comic for them in like December, and yeah, it's just been super fun over the last few months, getting to work with the team and create some new stuff. But anyway, if you go to that address, coretoons.substack.com, you could actually peek and look through the kinds of stuff that we've got. And if you want to sign up, that would be awesome. We'd be happy to have you. And again, it's totally free. We're doing this for fun because we like making comics for kids. So, speaking of comics for kids, let's start on one of those. Now, what I think I want to do, so this is actually, this is a new one. I Oh, I could show the one that I finished last, like off stream. That's a good idea, don't you think? Okay, so we were working on. I'll head back to our Clip Studio window here. We were working on this one last week, and we mostly finished it, and I was really pretty happy with it. There was something different. I was like, what is different? And I showed it to Ashley, and she's like, okay, we're happy with the rainbows, the water spray hose, that looks good, but why do the faces, they don't look the same as the characters you've drawn before? I'm like, what did I do? And I realized I've been playing around with some different drawing styles, and I can actually now show you guys using the layer comps function that just came out in Clip Studio Paint 3.0, and I love it. It feels so snazzy. So just making sure in OBS that you're seeing it. Yeah, so this is the way where I redrew them to match, you know, the style of the other comics. And then I did it this way, which is subtly different, but definitely different. And I call this whoops wrong style. There we go. So this is what I end up finalizing and doing. But I was happy with how this one came out. So what we'll be doing from here, I'm actually going to just use this as a template because our next... Okay, there's the 2 and the H2O. Got it. This next one will be another 4-panel. That's kind of our jam. This is our Sunny Skies series, which is... I don't even know if you can see this particularly well, especially not in the corner here. But yeah, this is how a lot of our ideas start out. Ashley and I will talk through a comic idea. Oftentimes, or she'll have an idea as a writer, and sometimes she'll even do like the rough sketch like this. And then we'll talk about it. We'll add a few elements. She then hands that off to me, and I will, you know, recreate the sketch in Clip Studio, and then bring in, you know, do final lines, do all the colors, all that good stuff. But yeah, so Sunny Skies is one of 2 series that we do for Core Toons. It's the one that's aimed for younger readers. So that's what we call our early worms group, which is ages, grades, kindergarten through 2nd grade. And the other series that we do is Weatherwise, which is for the older group, which is 3rd through 5th grade, targeted largely. Not that you have to be those. But those are kind of where we're aiming things. And they both have like a weather and science bend to them, which is good times. Because that's our background and that's what we like to do. So what I am going to do is just obliterate every single layer that is unique to this comic. Why? Who knows? So I will actually save this off really quickly because, you know, you don't want tragedy to strike. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Now we're working in a new file, so I can very confidently clear everything out. Boop. It took me surprisingly long to realize that I could, how easily I could just, you know, check boxes and clear things out all at the same time. You know? Sometimes you don't realize all the ways you could be making your life easier. Okay, so I can delete all these layers. And that leaves us with inks. It is kind of fun sometimes to take away the inks layer. I'm like, oh, it looks pretty good like this. What if I just tighten it up a little bit and did a lineless comic? One of these days I may give it a shot just to play with the style because it's lots of fun. But that day is not today. There we go. Okay. Turn my opacity up just for while I'm working here. Okay, good deal. So we've got our frame, we've got our consistent panel layout all ready to go. I'll delete this because I don't need this. This is a working title, but I kind of love it. I kind of love it because it's both literal and sort of a pop cultural phrase reference. I don't know. All right, let's pick our not black color. Okay, here we go. I do that one because it helps me remember that these are not final lines by any stretch of the imagination, and anyone else that looks at it. It's also just kind of a comfort from like a force of habit from back longer ago when I did comics, even just for me, but I still felt the need to like digitize them. If you scan a comic with blue sketch lines underneath and black final lines over the top, and you turn it to black and white, you actually manage to lose a lot of the blue line. It makes it way easier to clean up. So it's kind of a force of habit there. So that is why, part of the reason I do that, but also, you know, it adds a little bit of color to an otherwise colorless process. Okay. All right, got my handy dandy sheet in front of me. Have I switched back? Yes, I am back in Clip Studio. We are good. My mic is still unmuted, which I no longer take for granted. If you've been watching the last few weeks, it's been a roller coaster journey, truly. All right, so we're gonna go to sketch layer. The other thing that you should know about Sunny Skies is that we endeavor to make it just about wordless. It's not 100% wordless. We have a few words, and there's little bits of dialogue. We actually often prefer to do the dialogue via emoji. Just because it's kind of this concept of low barrier, high interest comics for early readers and reluctant readers. You can do a bigger smile than that, and you will see me probably doing like making all the faces, oftentimes without realizing that I'm making all the faces. Just because, you know, that's how I roll. So that's Chloe. Our girl character's name is Chloe Cloud, as a matter of fact, and our boy character's name is Corey Jones. These were actually characters that we had written an entire middle grade. That's like ages 9 through 12 graphic novel about. Which was like kind of this STEM fiction adventure manuscript, and we did, you know, sample pages and everything. But then we figured out when we were approached to join the Core Toons group, we were like, oh hey, cool, we can actually age these characters down, simplify it. Alright, I'm just gonna kind of scribble in Corey's hair there because this is just the sketch layer. Remember, Jeff, not details. The eyebrows are really going if you're not paying attention on my expressions. It's good times. Good times. I have a perma eyebrow perma upward eyebrow. See if you can spot which one. Anywho, so we aged them down. We simplified the art, made it a lot more like chibi-ish and cute-ish. Might need to shrink that. Nope, that is definitely not what I wanted to do. And by shrink, I mean obliterate entirely. Of course. Of course. And we initially did that just for weather-wise. And we had initially planned on focusing right there. But then we started having kind of ideas for like how we could do some even younger concepts for it. And so like, okay. So we then further chibified and aged them down. And I'm honestly really happy with the choice. It's been fun doing both. Also, it's been just super productive. Like, I've done so many comics this year, which is really nice. Like, especially because we're also on the other side of things, we're working on a pitch packet for another middle grade graphic novel project. This one not science related. It's more of a emotional journey type of story. But that progress is a little bit slower. More panels per page, a lot more concept art and planning, so it's a bit slower progression. It's fun. It's a different kind of work, though, for sure. And we may be seeing some of that on stream coming up. This is actually the project that I started on back in like August on stream, but we had done some work. We shared some stuff with our critique group. We had done like this kind of mentorship program, and taking in all this different feedback and like going with our gut feeling, we're like, okay, this isn't quite ready yet. So we went back and workshopped it and have been kind of steadily working on it in the background. And I think we're in a place where we're getting ready to share it, but I do want to make decisions on a few things like colors before I start working on stream. So I'm doing that. We're also starting to wind down our Core Toons year. We'll be emailing out stuff through June and then picking back up in August for the new school year. We'll still be doing some stuff to build up a bit of a buffer during the year, but still doesn't have to be perfect, Jeff. It's a sketch layer. Right, I know that's a dog. All right, Chloe's head needs to be a little bigger, or Corey's needs to be smaller. Either way. I think that's good. Also, this version of Dire Dire Docs that's playing in the background now is awesome. It's one of my favorite video game tunes. Especially one of my favorites that's not like a Final Fantasy song. Okay. I could probably reuse, especially since this is a younger age, I could probably reuse a lot of the same one, but I think I'm actually going to zoom out a bit. We'll change our camera just a wee bit. Now this is actually closer to a pencil layer weighted for like what I would usually see as like a pencils layer for my first panel. I got a little more detail there than I usually would. Don't mind me just making the faces again. Always making those faces. Right, that's a hand. There we go. You ever have those times where you're even looking at your own work, you're like, wait, what was this sketch supposed to be again? Alright, so it probably is going to need to be a bigger speech bubble as I'm planning this out. Yeah. Okay. This is why sketch layers are so important. If you're out there and you're not an artist, or you want to do stuff but you feel like it never comes out quite right, let me be a sketch evangelist to you, because honestly, even as someone who's been drawing and doodling their whole life, I also had a lot of preconceptions of like, oh, if you want to be like an artist, like, you have to just like everything first try is perfect. That was definitely not true. Now there's lots of artists who've done tons and tons of practice and are able to do that and have it come out, or at least work with the things that they see as imperfections. But really, there's a lot that's just like sticking with it and refining it. There's a lot to be said for sticking with your piece and refining it. Yeah. Okay, so I see again, bot, why you do this? It doesn't seem to want to kick, even when the bot uses the Core Toons command as me. I still need to figure that out. Okay. Well, I will just type it for it, and I will say it out loud too, because I like to use my announcer voice. We've teamed up with some awesome fellow kids comics creators to create bite-sized comics for young ones with a sprinkle of educational content in each. Sign up at coretoons.substack.com to get our weekly free email. Okay, that was serviceable. All right, cool. Right. It is really nice working digitally and being able to make these kinds of easy adjustments. I definitely would say. Like, I was already kind of leaning digital for a long time, but I think one of the things that finally, kind of sealed it for me was like being able to freely edit and play with stuff in a way that you just, it's more involved to do this on paper. I mean, I could totally do thumbnails and sketches and like get some scissors or whatever and, cut them and move things about, which is a totally valid way of doing it, but it's not as fast as this. While I'm totally guilty of like doodling on scratch paper, I have kind of a sketchbook, or I turn any notebook I have into a partial sketchbook. I've started also a digital sketchbook for when I'm seriously just sitting down to do art. I'm like, okay, why not work here? Because it's so easier. And then if I like something a lot and want to finish it out into a final piece, then I'm able to do that much more quickly because it's already in the digital format. I don't have to scan it. I don't have to take a picture of it. It's there. Okay. Okay. Now we zoom out a little bit more. Oh man, I haven't drawn the sun that way in other ones, and I actually like it a lot better that way, the way that Ashley did it. Oh man, it's okay. I don't think there's any super fervent consistency police right now on my kindergarten to second grade comics. You know what's funny is realizing how little I actually draw cirrus type clouds. Oh, good. Well, I like this base for panel 2. I'm also thinking like she could be shaking her head no or something like that as kind of a shorthand to like make clear what's going on. Okay. Yeah, this is rough. I'm probably... I can see some adjustments in the future of this one. That's okay. Maybe a 3/4 thing going on. And let's tweak that. Okay. Okay. And merge you down. Oop. Is that what I wanted to do? Merge, yeah, that's good. Okay. Should have done that before a copy, but that's okay. We're good. We'll get it in the pencils or in the final line or whatever. It's good. Okay. Yeah, I don't need to raise his head just yet. Weird to say. should move Corey a little bit closer, it looks like. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Yeah, that's good. That's... What did I just do? That wasn't the button I wanted. There we go. Maybe what I can do is actually move them a little center and up. We can just do like a little zoom in here. Maybe not quite so much, so these can be at the top. That's good. So just FYI, I'm probably going to be just a wee bit less talkative tonight. I know Elsie, Janos, or Frank here. Usually they draw a bit more out of me, but also I am so tired. At some point overnight last night, I believe I spoke with every single member of our family. We were all up at some point over the night, and apparently I was just the connecting thread that was awake that woke up with all of them. I guess that makes it a party. That's at least what I'm gonna choose to call it. Sleep was not spectacular last night, so I'm a little bit less bubbly than my usual self. That's okay. It was still a good day. Ironically, one of my more productive ones as of late. Okay, that thought bubble's gonna need to be bigger, huh? Okay, yeah. I can't really drag that way. Okay. I know this is all just rough sketches right now. If you're curious, the premise of this comic, the nugget of science in here is this is about sundogs. And the comics aren't meant to be like this necessarily, like one-stop resource that tells you everything about a phenomena. But they are to prompt discussion, right? So, actually, you know what? Maybe not everyone's familiar with sundogs. Let's go to ye old AMS glossary. AMS being the American Meteorological Society. They're verifying that I'm a human. I'm a human, guys. Oh, okay. That was weird. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with the official AMS definition here because I feel like that's probably clearer. Okay. You good? Okay. Alright. So yeah, sundog, also known as parhelion. It's a halo in the form of a colored spot at the same angular elevation as the sun. The lunar counterpart is a paraselene. That's cool. I like that one. The most common parhelia are seen about 22 degrees on either side of the sun. That angular distance increases from 22 degrees when the sun is on the horizon to over twice that when the sun climbs to 60 degrees. The sun side of the parhelion is reddish. It can be explained by refraction in hexagonal crystals, which are ice crystals, by the way, falling with principal axes vertical. The effective prism angle is 60. Okay, yeah. I was just trying to read the definition, but AMS gave a lot of information. So yeah, a sundog is a weather phenomenon in which you see like a rainbowy dot. You can also even see them like an arc. It's pretty cool stuff. Hold up, let me just. One second. I thought I had this ready to go, but I didn't quite. Yeah, so here we go. These are all great images of what sundogs look like. So you can see them at that angular 22-degree view. Wow, these are all great. Great photos of sundogs. In case you didn't know it, now you do. So of course we're playing with that idea. So that will change how I draw a lot of this, but that's cool. All right, cool. So I will adjust that a little better to reflect that. So, I guess this is more of a halo or a glory, which is another weather term you might hear, which is a similar optical phenomenon. Kind of like that if you well, that was weird. So we were going to draw them most like in a cirrus cloud bank, but a lot of these pictures are actually very thin cirrus layers where you can't entirely tell as clearly. Sorry, just doing my research. Yeah, so we can have kind of the wispy. Oh, well, first what I should do is clear this out, right? Right. Okay, I'll merge that with the layer below. Okay, good deal. Alright, that's good. That is the basic idea that So sketch layers done. To reduce the opacity a little bit, and then we'll go on to pencils. So I will drop down my brush size just a bit. I try to get my pencils layers pretty tight for these. I think I've said this plenty of times before. But when I get to the ink layer, I like to be focusing a lot on my pen pressure, since a lot of brushes vary their weight or opacity by the amount of pressure you're putting on the pen. So for me, it helps to be able to focus on that and already have my details kind of drawn in. Actually, that is not where the thumb would be. No, that is where the thumb would be. Scratch that. Tried to correct myself, but first instinct was right. Okay. Okay. You ever have those moments? I know I do. Scooch the body down just a little bit here. Make sure I'm doing the right face/head style this time. Whoops. Shorten that just a little bit there. Okay. You know what I forgot to do? Ugh. I keep meaning to remember to clear the time-lapse recording since I'm starting with a template from another one and kind of clearing it out. And I like to use the time-lapse recording technique here in Clip Studio, but I've done this now over 3 comics, 4 comics, and forgotten to clear it each time. And so you get not quite what I intended. Hold on. I can show you. Ah, man, I wish I had forgotten. That's okay. That is okay. So it should pop when I do this. So you can see the very first one that I did on this. Yeah, very different comic. This was actually our first Weatherwise, and our first sunny skies, and our third sunny skies, and now our fourth sunny skies. Whoopsie daisies. That's okay. It's, you know what? I'm good with it. It's fine. Can always be edited. Okay. Might give Corey a little height here just because with his spiky hair. With his spiky hair, he does tend to be at least the same height as Chloe. Okay. And of course I'll pencil in the speech bubble. Gotta love the KK slider. Much respect. Okay, this is not gonna be the exact sound. That is okay. We don't have to draw the tongue out. It's fine. Okay. Like, I guess they would have some sort of background going on out here. Probably best not to think too complicated. Oh, why is... It's like the more times I draw the sun like this, the more times I'm like, no. Why is that? It's all good. Not quite. Alright, forget it. Forget it. I'm doing it this way. The convex line superiority has won. Alright. Done. Hey Hunter, how's it going? Welcome on in. How you doing tonight? don't mind me just angrily drawing a sun emoji. It's all good. Can we do a drawing challenge? Well, I'm for a comic. Well, I'm working on, this is actually an early reader comic we're doing. We work on this with a group of creator friends of ours. So I'm trying to get this done for kind of a deadline. So I wasn't planning on doing any challenges tonight, but do you like to do comics, Hunter? Kinda? Like just for fun? Cool. I mean, that's, you know, that's one of the best reasons to do it, because you enjoy it. What kind of, I mean, I'm not planning on doing it tonight, but what kind of challenge were you thinking? Oh, my bot. Why is the bot command not working tonight? Oh, goodness gracious. It's trying. It's trying, bless its heart. I'll manually type that in there. Just, I will figure this out one of these days. But when I type it, it's fine. Anywho, what kind of comics challenge are we talking about? I'm always happy to learn about new things. Well, Hunter, if you're still there, I was gonna say, if you enjoy doing comics and you want either practice with it or more fun challenges with it, there's a group called Sequential Artist Workshop, and they do this free Friday night seminar called Friday Night Comics, and it's at 7 Eastern Time in the US, and it's on Zoom. And it's cool because they'll usually have some pretty cool web comic artists come on. They'll work you through kind of like one concept or one piece of writing, or sometimes it's stuff like lettering, and it's really neat. And then like everyone on the call, it's a Zoom call, and everyone will do work within time to create something based on the theme, and they'll, if they're finished, they'll share it on the call. And it's incredible seeing some of the work and how fast some of these people come up with stuff. And every time I've done it, I've been not only challenged, but like I've learned something cool and new. So if you're looking for challenges and looking for chances to grow, I really recommend it. It's SAW, or Sequential Artist Workshop. And if you look them up, you can register for free to join the call. Yeah, it's super cool. Scooch that up just a little bit. Alright, so we're at just a little past 11. Pencils are coming along. I can hear in my voice that I could use a water break. So I'm gonna take just a couple minute break here, one or two. To grab some water for myself, and I will be right back, guys. See you in a few. Hey, we're back. Just checking to make sure I'm unmuted there. That's that button. That's a slippery little button that's gotten me a few times this last month. Oh, it's good times. It's good times. Okay, so here we are, working on the pencils. Maybe I should do some kind of background here. Maybe I'll get some of that like seriously. Seriously type clouds in the background. A little bit of a sidewalk there. Yeah, it makes sense more than just like a couple of random people standing in a field. But also, and very importantly, it's not so detailed that I have to draw an insanely detailed background every time, which is very important to me, as it turns out. Well, this looks like a funny hat. Not that clouds can't sometimes look like funny hats. But that's not really what I'm going for, huh? There you go. 2 panels down, not so bad. Okay. She's got that really distinctive side ponytail going on. Actually, maybe do more of an arm out kind of thing going on. You know, it's not as expressive having it just hanging limp at the side there. But then it runs into the dog. Okay, that's why I did that. Sometimes we just need a reminder of why we did what we did 10 minutes ago. It was more than that. I'm just being ridiculous for the fun of it. Not quite that base. Okay. Yeah, I will need to make this brush size smaller anyway when I draw it. That there was fascinating. Still online? Sorry, I just saw my chat window blip for a second, so I was checking into everything. Making sure we're still good. Looks like we still are. Sometimes our internet is not great. I did try to be proactive about stabilizing things by rebooting the router before stream. So hopefully we're good. Hopefully we're gonna stay nice and stable here. Okay, what am I trying to do here? Really? I can make him a bit taller. That will actually. There, I'm sorry. Just getting lost in thought there. There may be something more expressive I can do here. Might be better to have him, like I was just gonna have him kind of where you can see the 3/4 face, so you can see him like smiling. A bit from the side, but honestly I think maybe having him react with his whole body is gonna be a little bit better. Oh yeah, that angle of the pants is not. There we go. Okay. It's gonna be. Okay, we're just gonna experiment and see if this looks weird or if I like it. That okay, yep, that's good. Okay. Yeah, I do like that. I do like that better. Okay. Cool. Now the real question, do I want this type of dog or do I want like a Shiba Inu type dog? Because really, I do love Shiba Inus and Corgis. Draw a little like floppy ear. Yeah, I kind of want to do Shiba Inu type dog. It's all good. I say that a lot because it is all good. It is indeed all good. Oh, and then I can do the sidewalk lines and they kind of guide the eye towards what I want you to look at. Look at that. Look at that amazing, amazing planning. Clearly all executed flawlessly in my subconscious without realizing how effectively I can't even keep it up while I'm like drawing all these errant lines. It's good times. But I'm glad that works out. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity that I now see. This one was okay, right? So is it in that one that I was just doing them too big? Maybe that's what it was. It's like, I swear I've drawn the sun like that before, and yet it vexes me so. No, it's all good. I like the sun. If I didn't, I wouldn't have moved to Florida. Not that there aren't, you know, other challenges in the state. Okay, so those won't be hard lines though. Those will be a different effect layer that I'll be putting on top here. Clouds will be in there, kind of the little high cirrus clouds, haziness, or not hazy clouds, but just kind of, yeah. That cirrus overcast with a few ribbons in it, maybe to kind of drive home what's going on there. We've actually done a lot of comics on the different effects of refracting light. The first one being about just snow and why it's not actually white. But we see it that way because snow is translucent. Could I have just been, yeah, like that, right? Maybe not quite. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna like, so if I do that and I do that, no, in case you couldn't tell, this is bothering me, and I'm trying to understand why it is that this has been challenging for me tonight when I've done this before. It's a little too... Yeah, so then if I just make the sun a little bit bigger and follow these. No, that's not quite it. It's really not quite what I was going for. Okay. Fun experiment. Not quite the result that I was hoping for, but I can live with that. Alright, this guy I will bring over. Actually, maybe just... yeah, no. Oh, the errant tops. Oh, goodness. I'm getting better at not having my heart just instantly sink when I realize when that happens, and I'm like, oh, I do have an undo button. Everything will be okay. Bring this a little bigger. good. Merge with layer below. I can use a bigger eraser here for efficiency, of course. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Wow, this song is really messing with me. And any Chrono Trigger fans in the house can probably hear it too. This is right, but also very wrong. Not quite right. I do think I'll need to draw Corey a little bit closer in here anyway. It's like with the Star Wars music, I just instinctively look to see if Frank suddenly has shown up in chat. Wouldn't that be amazing timing? Here, okie dokie. Any give him a little bit more of a neck there. I like that. I do really like that ending for this one. It just makes me smile so much. Chatbot, why? It's okay. I will fix it another time. I'm not gonna just argue with it right now. It's okay. Alright. Pencils are looking good. Pretty happy with this. This is okay. Alright. Okay, so what are we at? We're at about 11:30. I'm wearing down a little bit tonight, but feel like I can keep this going a bit longer because I would like to get this a little bit closer to completion. Oh, also, okay, well that is the pen tool, but that's okay. It did kind of what I wanted to, so. And for pencils, that's not a huge deal. This could be rescaled just slightly, hey? Okay, I feel like that looks a little better. The head needs to be bigger here. But without losing the neck. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's keep going for a little bit. I'm not thinking I'm gonna finish. Maybe I'll finish inks tonight. Maybe not. We'll see. I'm not feeling super energetic this evening, but I'll get there. We'll get at least some progress in here. Maybe I'll ink speech bubbles, right? That's easy enough. And thanks to Vector Magic, it's super easy to clean up. But just here. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Back up to my 15 size here. That's what I use pretty consistently for the, especially outermost lines on these more zoomed in shots. I'm not needing a whole lot of detail or anything like that. And yeah, you can see, because I've got most of the fine details already planned out, I'm spending almost all my concentration on just getting the line weight. Doesn't mean I always do that this way, but I do like to simplify things when possible. Try to cut this finger in. Yeah, there we go. A little bit big on the smile there. Okay, it's a little better. Let's get this. Nope. There we go. Okay. 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 Panel 1. Looking all right. Yeah, right. It does have that little bit there. Kind of comes through. Okay. It's more of a zoom out. Do I want to go all the way up to? That's too big. Lock that down one. Oh man, I am a sucker for a good remix of the Me channel music. He does need a thumb, huh? Too much. And we've reached the Quiet Jeff portion of the night, for those of you keeping notes at home. We'll just call it focus time. Hey. Okay, so in case you're curious, I'm not drawing lines for the emoji because I'm not going to draw. They're not going to have lines. I typically do this using a lasso fill drawing, just to visually distinguish them. It gives them kind of a little bit of a pop. Pap. I feel like just by distinguishing them a little bit, it kind of gives a better, more readable feel for what we're doing. I guess because like these are for like the target audience is younger readers. So, well, I fully believe kids are very smart, oftentimes in ways that we as adults don't give them credit. For the very beginning, it's good to kind of, I think, ease into it. Give them a really, and by doing that, I mean by giving them a really strong visual kind of hierarchy, visual. Oh my gosh, the word was right on the tip of my head. Codec, I mean, that's not really what I was going for, but I guess it kind of captures what I'm going for. Something really strong that they can, they can stick with, they can see it, they see what you're doing. It's very obvious, but not hitting them over the head with it. Not like, hey kids, when you see, although to be fair, we're also literally doing that because some of these kids in kindergarten are never gonna have read a comic before. So Sarah actually had a really good comic with her Comics with Felix series in Core Toons that does exactly that. It's like the comics code, and it does break it all down. Like, these are thought bubbles, these are speech bubbles, these are captions, and it does a really solid job. So I guess I shouldn't feel too, especially for this age group, too wary of making things simple to read, because that's the entire point, because we're literally introducing kids to it. I don't know what I was going for there. There you go. There we go. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna keep the sidewalk extending, because one, that's gonna extend these visual lines even further to just kind of continue pointing things towards our main characters and the sky. But also because I feel like it adds unnecessary extra detail to kind of try to come in and break it up. Okay, what are we at? 11:52. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna finish inking this one tonight. I could go till like 12:15, but I'm tired and I am going to sleep. So I'm really happy though with how this one's penciled out. Per usual, I will go over this with Ashley, see if there's any notes that she has for me on it. We do work pretty tightly as a team, so she'll, I'll help with the writing, or I'll go over her stuff and she'll go over the art. And oftentimes she catches stuff that I didn't, because I drew it and I know what I meant. There's one great example where like I was trying to do a cover and I was like having someone holding a photo, but I got a little bit lazy, and instead of like having them like doing the, oh, I'm holding it, I had them like this, right? But there's also like a cat walking in front, and the cat was going like this way as I swat the mic, and like I totally drew them like pointing at the cat's butthole. Like, cool, that is, I didn't see it, and now she's like, why is she pointing at the cat's butt? I'm like, like the first reaction as the artist is like, you get irritated, you're like, why did you make me see that? And you realize like, oh no, that's how most people will then see it, and I don't want that. So I learned a valuable lesson that day, and I will continue to tell that story because it's perfectly illustrative of why it's good to have other people look at your stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna be done with drawing for tonight. For this evening, I'm gonna let's hop on back over to just chatting for a minute, just for a hot minute. Yeah, so thanks for joining me tonight, everybody. This was good times. I had good times. I hope you did too. Yeah, there's that. We're good there. Sorry if that lagged out for a second. Yeah, so what I will do is pop a quick reminder about what Core Toons is. Sorry, house noises, just checking, making sure everybody's good. Yeah, so I will do this real quick as my bot is still apparently not getting recognized. Yeah, so this was a Core Toons comic that we're working on here. Core Toons is an effort we've joined in with some awesome fellow kids comics creators to create bite-sized comics for young ones with a sprinkle of educational content in each. So if you're interested in seeing what we do, you can sign up at coretoons.substack.com. It's completely free. We send out a weekly email. If you got little ones, I think it should be fun for them. Our kids enjoy seeing them. And yeah, it's just some kids comics creators having fun, working together, and just having a good time. We launched this to grow and to learn and to get something out there into the world to share. So yeah, if you're interested, I hope you will check it out. Again, it's a Substack newsletter. You sign up. It's free. We're not charging a thing. So feel free to check it out. Otherwise, don't feel free to check it out. No, I don't really know where I was going with that. But I am thankful for anybody who joined in tonight. Thanks for anyone who hopped in chat. Thanks for anybody who watched me live here on YouTube. On Twitch. Thanks for anybody watching the recording on YouTube, which was the next thing I was going to say, or the VOD here on Twitch. Thank you very much for joining me. I am tired. I am going to go sleep now. So, as always, it's been great. I love having you here with me. Thanks for letting me share what I love to do. I hope you had a good time too, and I will see you next week, Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, here on twitch.tv/WagWorksGA. We're always happy to have you. So, with that, have a great night. Have a great week. Have a happy Easter if you celebrate. Have a great regular Sunday if you don't. And just, we'll see you next week. Thanks again and good night.